Hi all, welcome back to my studio and my channel. This week I thought we'd discuss a little bit about texture. Our first workshop is Wall Art Daisy, and so I'm very excited and I've started to prepare. So we could be doing a background that is sort of graduated background to go with our daisy and put our daisy on top. But I also wanted, it's wall art, so I wanted people to be able to do individual things, and I thought it's a great opportunity to talk about texture to you. So here we've got a background that is being done using spray paint, and ironically the white spray paint went a bit wrong because I hadn't cleaned the cap out properly. So that created that splatter effect, so I've made use of that. And then we've got the texture's been provided with this with palette knife. So texture doesn't have to be introduced with a paste. It can be introduced just with paint itself and with marks. And I thought I'd just cover that today. I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What I thought would be interesting, because in class we're covering texture and we've worked on a particular palette. So I'm going to be using Payne's Grey, Permanent Rose, Ultramarine Blue, Lemon Yellow and Titanium White, which are our colours for this term. The idea of this Wall Art Daisy is definitely about providing different backgrounds, different textures, different colours, so that it suits everybody. And if you want to actually make a daisy, then you can choose to do one colour depending on your home decor, or another, and depending on your preferences you can either do it textured or not. And so I've got a few different things to do some different textures. So before I start, I'm just going to do a quick blend, and we'll use the colour that's here and we'll sort of do what's here, but then we'll work on other things. And this is all things I'm going to cover. Quite hot in here, just dampen the board off. I've introduced Payne's Grey. In Paint with Debs I've introduced it, and I'm just going to mix it with Ultramarine Blue. If you've never ever blended with acrylic, quite a good place to start. In order to blend, I always think that you place down. So the more you want it blended, the more the gentle stroke at the end will pull it all together. And what I'm going to do is go back in with some of this dark at the top. And then I'm damping my brush off, and I am just going to smooth it off a little. Okay, so we've done a little bit more on this. I've done another layer, and that's going to be it. I think we'll wait until it's dry, and whilst that's drying I'm going to do another background. So let's have a look at other backgrounds. I'm still going to make a graduated background, but we're going to do it with spray. And I've got two acrylic sprays here. One is the Cadmium Red Deep Hue 5 from the Liquitex Spray Paint Professional. And you have to watch the hue, because although it says Cadmium Red Deep, the actual colour of it is quite different. The colours can roughly be seen on the top, so there is sort of a pink version. And I've actually got here a white Cobra paint, which I quite like. So I'm going to do a similar idea to what we've just done. You want to, I'll just put this on. Remember to be safe and put masks on and stuff like that. So I'm just going to turn on my ventilation and then I'll spray. You can hear the ball and shake it. cleaned out properly. Beautiful texture, but not exactly what I wanted. The extraction's now turned off, and so it's a little bit easier for me to talk. And what's happened here is, to be honest with you, one of the white was not cleaned out properly, and so what I've done is taken advantage of that texture with the splatter that's ensued, and I have spread some of the stuff in the background, sometimes using a brush, but allowed some of that splatter to come through and allowed some of that texture instead of making it a perfectly clean background. What I have done is created some, still created the graduated effect, because I did want some of this blending to go on. So I've done some of that with a brush. So that is the second board, and I've got a third board now that I'm going to use a palette knife on. Right, so on this board, I've just chosen a minimal amount of colour, and then I'm creating a little bit of texture, and then I'm bringing some of that colour back into other areas of the board. So I'm bringing the red over this area, and I brought a little bit of that yellow coming across here. And then I'm going to get, I'm just going to get a plain brush. This is a synthetic acrylic, so, and I'm just going to smooth a few areas off, just so. I'm going to have, I think I'm going to put my daisy, ooh, I don't know, I might put it that way. I just want to make sure that I've got all the areas covered, and I've made sure, I'm now making sure that all of the areas are filled in. I'm going to put my daisy here. So I've had a look, and I'm just going to get my palette knife. So in areas where I've smoothed it out, I think it's a little bit too brush-like. This is a painting knife, so you can work flat like that. I think that will do as my next background. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're a subscriber and you'd like to be notified, remember to hit the bell button. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Any questions, I'll answer them there. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.